Hey guys, so today's video is going to be just a full face of Clean Beauty. Clean Beauty is all I've ever used. It's all I have, besides I think one shadow palette that I rarely use from Tarte, I think. But anyway, we will get started. So I'm going to start with Juice Beauty Base, and this is the SPF 30 Tinted Mineral Moisturizer. And then I'm going to, this coverage is not very good, so I'm going to add cover drops from Cover FX in the shade G Light 1. I like their neutral shade in the concealer, but everything else in Cover FX I like the golden, because the neutral shade is pretty pink, so I have, besides this, more yellow tones. So I'm going to damp my sponge. Okay, and this formula is kind of like almost greasy, I'd say. I'm just trying to use it up. I only bought it when I bought it because of how clean the ingredients are. But I have found a much better base that I love, and I'm just trying to use up everything I have because I have quite a few. So I'm just going to, like, that might even be too much. Do that with probably all of these like drops. Cover FX has a whole line of like different bronzer and illuminating and all kinds of drops. So you gotta shake them. And I'll add, let's see, 2 drops is probably enough. If I do too many, it gets pretty cakey. So I try to keep it to like 2 to 3 drops. Okay. Once it's mixed, I am just going to spread it around my face. I just apply it like a moisturizer. I probably should have added more coverage with the drops. Oh well, I'll do 3 next time for this one. And I rarely put anything on my forehead. My forehead has no rosacea or anything I need to cover, so I just, and it usually looks the same as the rest of my face when I apply a base on, so I usually just leave it. So it definitely helped with some redness. You can obviously see everything still, but not as intense as it was before. I'm just going to apply the rest. So with this one, I know I need to use less moisturizer and more drops, and probably use a beauty blender because that did a much better job. And I hate this moisturizer because I have to powder it, and I prefer to use products that I don't have to powder, that have their own dry down and I can just apply and go. And this one, I mean, it's like not even dewy, it's just like greasy and tacky. I don't know, not my type of product. Okay, this concealer though is one that I love, from Cover FX as well. Not in the shade for me, but that's okay. And since this added such horrible coverage, I'm just gonna put it everywhere because this shade actually is my facial color, and it's not a brightening color, which is what I wanted, so it works for this purpose. So anyway, and these are just so tiny. Concealers are always so tiny, and they cost like the same as a foundation sometimes. And I always just go over my eyelids because just to even everything out. I just like a nice blank canvas if I'm gonna do any bronzer. I would never do bronzer without doing foundation just because of how red my face is. It would just look clowny, I think, on me. So I typically like a good amount of coverage because, not for like scarring or pimples or anything like that, but just for the redness. But I also want my skin to show. I want it to look not cakey or thick, or like I have a bunch of stuff in my face. So I prefer like really lightweight foundations that have a ton of pigment. So you cover everything, but it's not very thick or cakey or anything like that. And so I'm just going to use this up, like I said before, and get that foundation because it's an expensive one, and I have my foundation drawer is full, and I don't want to just keep adding. So my incentive to buy that one is going to be to use up what I have. Okay, and I always redo blending before I powder because you don't want to powder any creases. And I just use like a big, what is this, probably like a multitask brush by Real Techniques. And today I'm using the Well People, let's see, Bio Brightener Invisible Powder. I bought it a super long time ago and then forgot about it, and well, I didn't forget about it, I just used a different powder for a long time, which recently has been super weird on me. So I started to use this one again, and it's not bad. I don't know why I stopped using it. And I do, when it's a formula like this, I just do my entire face, eyes, everything. Now with other foundations that dry down, like the one I want to get, I've tried a sample of it, it's incredible. That one, I only powder my eyes, and even depending on the concealer, sometimes I don't even do my under eye. I prefer no powder, but when it's a formula like this, I will take all the powder because I just don't like looking wet and greasy. I always make sure I don't feel tacky still, because once, if I get any oils, once that comes through the skin, then, so I'd rather have extra powder if it's this kind of formula. That's pretty good. Okay. On to bronzer. My favorite bronzer, well, I have a couple favorites. The one I've been using lately is Flora Remedia Bronzing Wand. I think they're an Australian brand. It took forever to ship. And this is like $50, but they have sales, and I get it for $15 and they're on sale, and it's huge. Like, look at the thickness of that. This is like twice the size of other bronzer wands, and it is super, super pigmented. So I use this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I just like kind of swipe my brush on here. That's probably even too much. I mean, it's super pigmented, and I just go on the top of my cheek. I actually use, I don't contour, I use bronzer where I would contour. I like the, I guess, not really natural, but not full face of makeup look. So that's what I do. Okay, and then for blush, I recently went back to, and then I'll fix up where there's too much. You guys see when I'm doing something and my face gets red, and then you see the redness and the bronze, it just looks like a mess, and like, what are you even doing? So that's why the redness will calm down once I'm done putting my makeup on, but that's why I don't. That's why I have to put on a base if I'm gonna do anything else on my face. So I use this Jane Iredale blush, and I actually only recently went back to this. I didn't use it for a very long time. In Touch Cream Blush. I think this is the shade name, Connection. So what I do with this, and again, with my rosy face, I keep my blush to a minimum, but what I do is I rub some on like the butt of the Beauty Blender, and just dab a tiny bit to blend the where the bronzer ended, kind of. And then if there's too much, I just clean it up. But yeah, that's it. I wouldn't do more than that. And then I just blend everything in with the side that I put my foundation or base on. I like how creamy products leave you with like a little bit of a glow that's not just greasy but more of like a real glow. So I'll leave that. I usually don't go with powder over like cheap products. I usually go in with an eyeliner. I'm going to skip the eyeliner today. And these are the two mascaras I use every time I do my makeup. And I don't wear makeup very often, maybe a couple times a week, sometimes like a few times a month, usually just on weekends. I use the Honest one because it's one of my most favorite clean. It's super clean and it gives you amazing volume and everything and length. But the reason I use it is because it keeps my lashes curly. So one of them on the one side, I think it's this eye, they're more straight and these are more like naturally curly. And so I like to have something. I don't use a curler because an eyelash curler, like from this formula, my nose it feels wet. That's so gross. Also, I love powdering my eyes and lashes when I do my whole face because it gives it, I see a huge difference. It gives the mascara more like substance to grip on. So anyway, I use this to help my lashes hold shape. It comes with the primer and then regular mascara on the other side. And then I use Thrive for more of like a fake lashes look. But today, I think I'm only going to use the Thrive one. It is pretty great. Okay, oh, I've never done this in a camera or my phone. I'm going to come right back. So I actually don't like how this applies alone. I'll show you the difference between this eye. I'll do just only Thrive. And then this eye I'll do both, and then you'll be able to see the difference. And when I do this mascara, when I do the Honest one before I do the Thrive, I only do one coat, like not even a full coat. I just want something for the Thrive one to grab on because I feel that's when it does. I feel like that's when it performs best. And I don't know if you're able to see. Okay, so there is not nearly the volume that I normally see. You can see the length, but it's not, like on a scale of 1 to 10 how much volume I normally see with using this combo versus today, this is like a 2 out of 10. It's just not my lashes day. Some days are like this, that's okay. Okay, once it dries, I'll clean it up. But then really the last thing I do, I don't even usually put anything on my brows. They're already full. I do sometimes just use a clear brow gel to kind of tidy them up a little bit. The other thing I do like my signature every single time, I use this Jane Iredale palette. Super neutral shades, my favorite. And I take this shade, it's like a taupey color. It's called Chenille, and they don't have this color. It's like, you can see it's the one I have the biggest dent in. And they don't have this color alone, which sucks because it's the only color I use in this palette typically. Sometimes if I want like a darker color on the ends, I'll use this other color. It's called Velvet. And before I do my mascara, I always do my eyeshadow, and I forgot that today. So, and now it's gonna be hard to see what I'm doing, but I usually just only do it in the crease, and I do it with a big blending brush, so it kind of just almost gets all over but leaves just a little bit. Okay, this is awful. This is not what I normally do. Actually, most of the time I start with this feather color in this palette and the, like, in the inner. Okay, my lashes are long, so this is why I can't do eyeshadow. Now it's all messed up. I can't do eyeshadow after mascara because the mascara just gets all janked up like that. So that was a fail. But anyway, you get the point. Forgot the eyeshadow, but normally this is all I do. Just this one step. Well, the white and then this color. And I do it every single time. Nothing different. I love this shade. It's like for me it's like the perfect taupey, like super basic look. But now my mascara's all looks awful. If I was actually going out somewhere right now, I'd have to take this off because it just looks so janky. Jeez. I can't even, there's just no going back from that. I can't even fix that. Anyway, this is super old. It's from 100% Pure. I love this company because they are super, super, super duper clean. But most of there's only been like 3 products, 4 maybe with some lip. These ones, I don't know what they're called. This is just shade Sultry. It's like a nude. I'm almost out. I love these, and then they also have, they have a couple different types of lip sticks, I think these are. This is in shade Pink Canyon. It's too pinky for me. Actually, just not my, I don't like these kind of pink shades. I feel like Barbie in these pink shades. But this shade, my favorite shade, you'll see. For me, it's the perfect nude. I guess I'll just blend these. Anyway, there's that. Also, this sultry shade that I have, this shade dries down like a matte finish, and then if I'm like eating or drinking, nothing, it doesn't really come off, but it's not like drying matte. And then I have the same exact formula lip product, but it's a different shade, and that one does not dry down. So I don't know why. I thought they would all have the same formula and I guess dry down effect. But yeah, super simple. And if you enjoy clean beauty, I love videos about clean beauty because there's so many different clean beauty brands that I just will never hear about because there's so many unless I hear in like a clean beauty video or something like that. So if you enjoy this video, then stick around to see more like this. If you use any of these products and you like them, let me know. And the other thing I do, actually, one last step, sometimes by the end of when I'm done doing my makeup, if my like bronzer or blush washed out at all, which this is how I have it today, is perfect right now. I don't like it anymore because I like it to look natural, I guess, as natural as you can look with makeup. But if I do need a little extra something, I use this Fit Glow palette. It has these 3 shades. Rose is Illuminating, Rose Glow, Sun-Kissed Bronze, and Shaping Bronze. And this Shaping Bronze has super weird texture on it. It still comes on the brush fine, but it's super warm tone, which I hate. It comes orange onto my face. Like, I don't know if we can compare these. The one that I like versus the one versus Fit Glow. Let's see. You can tell one's brown and then the other one's like orange light brown. I don't like that. But I got this palette a year ago before I even kind of knew which bronzing shades I liked or my face was good with. But I do like this middle shade. It's Sun-Kissed Bronze. It's like it's more of like a mauve blush, almost I don't know, not a mauve blush, but like a very, like, I don't know how to explain it, but maybe you could see if I put it on. It adds a little something, and it's not like a bronze color, but it's not a blush, and it's not a highlighter. It's something in between, but I really like it. And that's the only reason I'd keep this palette. If I knew what this bronzer looked like on my face in this palette, I would have never bought this palette. It was also like $60 or something, I think. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, share your comments below, and talk to you later.